This is the Richard Smith Show, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think about that introduction? Oh, Miss Nicole, yes, I wanted to throw your song up in here. I mean, Are You Ready? That is the official song, Kansas City Chiefs right now. I love it. Heard it in the stadium. Great woman right there. Hey, it's a great video. So, as we listen to Are You Ready? Let's talk about Chiefs and Ravens. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Baltimore Ravens 27-24. It took overtime, brilliant play by offense and defense to take home the victory. With relentless plays by Mahomes, Ware, Hill, Kelsey, Houston, Ford, and Jones, we scratched, we clawed, we even threw a no-look pass to secure our spot in the playoffs. And with the upsets that took place yesterday, Dolphins over the Patriots, I'm not sure if you watched that game or not, but if you didn't, you should take a look at the highlights because the Dolphins stole that game right away from the Patriots, the very last play of the game. I actually looked up midway through the play, everybody's screaming, and I look up and I see him running down the field with no time left on the clock. That was a pretty incredible game, I'll have to say. Thank you, Miami, we really needed that. But also, the Colts over the Texans and the Raiders over the Steelers. There was a lot of upsets yesterday, so it really solidified the Chiefs' playoff position and future. We have 3 games left. And our playoff picture is looking great. If only the Chargers lost yesterday. But hey, we can't have it all, right? We can't have it all. So let's really take a look at the playoff picture in depth. It's really important right now in the next 3 games that the Chiefs win one of these divisional games. So at this point, the absolute worst spot the Chiefs could enter the playoffs in is the number 5 seed, which really isn't bad, Kansas City. I mean, even if we did that, that's still a great spot. But we're looking for a home field advantage and a first-round bye. And with that being said, if the Chiefs win one of the last 3 games, has to be a divisional game, and we have the Chargers on Thursday. That's a short week against a good team. We're really going to have to come out and play our best football to win that one. We have the Chargers on Thursday, then we have the Seahawks, and then we have the Raiders. If we win one of those divisional games, we are almost a lock-in for a first-round bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And we absolutely want the Super Bowl to go through Arrowhead. That's a huge, huge deal. And how many years has it been since we clinched a first-round bye? I mean, I don't even know if I remember a time period when the Kansas City Chiefs have done that. So there's a lot at stake right now. These are huge weeks, in particular on Thursday. I would say that Thursday is the most important game of the season. And, both teams are coming off short weeks, played hard, fought-out games. So I'm really hoping, the Chiefs, come out on fire. I doubt that it will be anything less. But I have to say, us playing a Baltimore team that is stacked up on defense, and look at all the hits Mahomes took. I mean, he got beat up yesterday, and he took it like a champ. But in the same respect, we beat up on the Ravens. I mean, gosh, look at Chris Jones, 10 sacks, 10 weeks in a row, with a sack. That is incredible. I'm not sure. Did D. Ford get a half a sack yesterday? I know he was in one of those plays with Justin Houston. And speaking of Justin Houston, oh, man, what a critical play. Yes, Harrison Butker missed the field goal at the end of the game, but for us to be in that position and D. Ford to come up with such a huge play, with such little time, it was under a minute left in the game, and he gets a strip sack and sets us up for a game-winning field goal. Now, obviously, we didn't make that field goal. There's actually 2 field goals missed. But we're a grinded-out team. Obviously, we showed that against a very, very tough Ravens team. I mean, they're tough. They're not an easy team to beat. And we went into overtime, and we did our thing. Mahomes shined. Kelsey shined. Hill shined. All around, that was an amazing performance. And look, Spencer Ware really didn't even look that bad. He showed some flashes of his old self, and I think it's really just going to be getting his timing back down and getting a routine. But he was a big contributor yesterday too. So with all that being said, Patrick Mahomes yesterday was 35 for 53, 377 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He played great. He had a no-look pass. I believe it was a third down. A no-look pass of 15 yards down the field that was just incredible. I want to say it was to Kelsey, but it might have been to Robinson. Lots of brilliant plays. I can't pinpoint 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 of them, because if I did that, I would be sitting here all day, picking apart the most dynamic player in the history of the game at this point in his career. So, that in itself is exciting and amazing. But yes, Mahomes played like a stud again. Do we expect any less? No. I do want to say I don't want to see him take that many hits. You could tell it was wearing on him through the game. Mahomes, sometimes instead of stepping into that throw and taking that huge hit that is a risky throw anyway, go to the ground. I did see you do it in that second half, but you still took a hit when you slid to the ground. So maybe do it just a tad bit sooner, because we're going to need you for the next, 15 years or so. Okay, on to the rushing game. Spencer Ware, like I said, 15 carries for 75 yards. He didn't have a rushing touchdown, but he really, showed more this game, especially against the Ravens defense, than he did last week. Damian Williams looked good too. The chances that he got to carry the ball, he didn't really produce that much, but he did have a rushing touchdown. Tyreek Hill got in the mix a little bit with 1 rush for 6 yards. Anthony Sherman only had 1 rush. Critical play. Anthony Sherman, that was a huge play by you. I believe that was a 4th and 1. And a critical point in the game. So, even that one play by Anthony Sherman, we need that all around. We are a well-rounded team. It's not just one player. It's not just one side of the ball. It's all sides. Offense, defense, and special teams are on all cylinders right now. Yes, we're giving up points, but look at the huge plays that we're having on defense. I mean, week after week after week. I mean, nobody can really talk about our defense anymore. We have a brilliant defense. It just took them a while to mesh. And I did expect to hear more about, Anthony Hitchens and, some of these guys that we brought in, Reggie Ragland, but it's our veterans from the team, our veterans that have been meshed together and played together for years now. Those are the guys that are making the noise. Those are the guys that are making the big plays, and that's why we have those veteran guys. D Ford, I think we need to go ahead and sign him to another contract. He's a huge contributor, and even when he's not making the sack, he is creating a distraction for Chris Jones, Justin Houston, and anybody else who wants to fly through there and get pressure on the quarterback. So it's really nice. I mean, I feel like we have just as many defensive weapons as we do offensive weapons. And now with Eric Berry practicing again, do I think we should bring him back against the Chargers? Yes. Chiefs Kingdom, what do you think? Do you think we should bring Eric Berry back against the Chargers? Because if we win this game, it'll clinch the AFC West, first round bye, and home field advantage. So I say we bring him back for this game and set him for the following 2 until the playoffs. That would be 3 weeks to recover for him. So with all that being said, let me get back to some more of these stats here. Tyreek Hill, 8 receptions for 139 yards. No touchdowns. That was still an amazing game. He was right where he needed to be every time, every play. He's amazing. Tyreek Hill is a monster. Travis Kelce, 7 receptions for 77 yards and a touchdown. Spencer Ware, 5 receptions, 54 yards. That's our thing there. Look, I think that was one of the things the Chiefs Kingdom wondered was how Ware was going to react out the backfield, because that's something that Hunt was so well-rounded at. But he's done a good job. Do I think we still need to go get a running back? Yes, absolutely. Demarcus Robinson, 5 receptions for 42 yards. Demetrius Harris, 3 for 28. Damian Williams, 4 for 16, and that was our other receiving touchdown. Patrick Mahomes threw 2 touchdowns on the day, one to Kelsey and one to Damian Williams. So, on the defensive side, Anthony Hitchens did have a decent day. He had 7 tackles and 2 assists. Reggie Ragland had 6 tackles and an assist. Justin Houston, 1.5 sacks. D Ford, a half sack, so he did climb in there and get that. So good for D. I'm glad that he got on the board with sacks today, too. Chris Jones, another sack. How about that kid? 10 straight games with a sack. I mean, it was just absolutely incredible. So I would imagine the sack leader list, D Ford and Chris Jones are near the top, if not on top. We'll have to see. I haven't looked into that yet. So with all that, what else do we have here that is noteworthy? No sign of Kelvin Benjamin this week. I didn't really expect him to be on the roster to play this week, but I look for him to be there Thursday, and that will be absolutely perfect. That's the big body receiver that will go up and get the ball that we need against the Chargers, because that's all they have. That's all they have is big body receivers, but they can go up and get the ball. Look at their record. It speaks for itself. Melvin Gordon, I'm not sure what's going on with him. He was injured. I'm not sure if he'll be back for this game. I haven't heard anything about that. I'll get back to you later this week about that. Short week, though, Thursday night, Arrowhead Stadium. We really, look, guys, we're going to have to grind this out. This is going to be a tough, tough game. Our defense really needs to show up. And we all know one thing. We own Phillip Rivers. Just him coming to Arrowhead gets in his head. But I don't want to look past that. We still have a job to do. We still have home field advantage to clinch. Will we bench our starters after that? I sure hope so. But I would love to have home field advantage and clinch for first round bye throughout the playoffs. So Kansas City, with all that being said, it was a great game against the Ravens yesterday. Again, the Chiefs win 27-24, and we look forward to the Chargers on Thursday. Have a great week, Kansas City. I hope you enjoyed the show and this game in review. This is the Richard Smith Show, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs.